Can we get into the hair? Can we get into the hair? Cause shall, like, I remember one time I was looking at a tweet and it had said like, oh, some of y'all don't need to be wearing blonde because some of y'all look like Black and Mild plastic tip. And they were talking about dark-skinned girls and how dark-skinned girls can't wear blonde. And I'm like, babe, I don't know who you talking to, but last time I checked, dark-skinned girls look good in blonde. Do you see what I look like? Okay. I look like a queen. I look like I could still your baby dad and your father at the same time. So,
Let me. Oh my God.
Y'all tried it, but we look good in blonde, okay? So, for all my dark-skinned women out there, don't ever let anybody's dusty ass tell you that you don't look good in blonde hair because you're dark-skinned, okay? You look good. You look good. We look good. And we're slaying, okay? But anyways, welcome to the Barbie Life 2.0 podcast. I'm your host, Shakira, aka Barbie 2.0. And, you know, today we're going to get into some things because, child, it's a motherfucking mess.
Here we go.
We got Jada talking about Will. We got this cheesecake lady. And we got the Jeannie girl from The Real just talking about her damn divorce every 5 seconds. Like, damn, can we get a break? Can we chill? Can we have some, like, you know, because right now it's just a little bit too much. Like, I just want to sit down in my chair, drink some tea and read a book. But it's like every time I look online, it's something new and it's a new bomb being dropped. Like, damn, girl.
I'm just not ready for all of this. It's just...
But anyways, the first thing I want to get into is this Cheesecake Factory lady. And shout out to one of my subscribers. His name or her name is Blackheart88-87. I love you so much. Thank you so much for subscribing and being loyal to me and definitely putting me on to this whole Cheesecake Factory thing. Because I was like, I didn't even know this was going on until my subscriber told me about it. And I was like, holy shit. And I looked it up and I was like, so basically, this is what happened, right? A black woman was going on a date with a non-black man, right? And she refused to get out of the car because this man was taking her on a date to Cheesecake Factory. And she decided to pull out her phone and start recording a whole entire video where she was basically just like clowning this man for taking her to Cheesecake Factory. And she was just basically saying how normally she's used to being courted and she's used to being taken at nice places that are super expensive, and Cheesecake Factory is beneath her and he's crazy for taking her there and he should have took her somewhere else. And it was just a whole mess. So I'm going to play the clip for y'all because I was kind of looking at her like, girl, but I'm going to tell y'all my thoughts after we see the clip. I want y'all to watch the clip first. So hold up.
Whew. Let me just get the door for you.
Okay.
He got me at the Cheesecake Factory, y'all. I ain't getting out this car. Yes. Would you want me to open the door for you? Look. Are you're recording me?
Yeah. This is the Cheesecake Factory. This is the Cheesecake Factory, y'all.
What's the problem with that?
This is a chain restaurant. Who takes someone that looks like this to a chain restaurant?
You want to talk about it? I'm fine with talking about it, even in front of them.
Oh, yeah, I want to talk about it.
Yeah.
Come on, get up on in the car. Yeah, we're going to talk about it. Oh, okay.
Okay. So,
yes, let's talk about it. About it.
So you expect a man to go all out on the first date. Is that right?
I mean, you're supposed to. Look at, I mean, when you take out a beautiful woman and you're courting her, because I get courted. So you're courting her, right? You're supposed to take care of her. You're supposed to cover her. You're supposed to protect her, cherish her, treat her well, right?
Yeah.
That's what you're supposed to do.
I agree. I went into this date as I expect, with the expectations for myself, to keep you safe, you know, to respect you, to pay for your food, of course, pick you up, of course, and just treat you like a gentleman, which I believe I have done.
I mean, you've been pretty nice, but I mean,
and then
Cheesecake Factory.
I, on the other hand, have certain expectations for a girl I go out with on the first date. I expect her to be respectful too. I expect her to be cooperative, and at least, you know.
What did I do that wasn't cooperative?
Well, I mean, like, even like when we were walking to the car, you wouldn't put your hand around my arm or anything like that, or hold my hand or anything like that.
I mean, it's too early for that.
Okay.
I don't know you.
I can respect that. I can respect that.
Okay.
When I got to your apartment to pick you up, you didn't want to invite me in. I can respect that too. We're not
Again.
I don't know there
yet.
Okay. And then, but
I mean, I feel like I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do as a woman.
But
I got myself all made up.
There's nothing wrong with the Cheesecake Factory, right?
Yes, there's a lot wrong with the Cheesecake Factory.
Okay, well, look at my planner, where we were gonna go originally.
See, now that's where we should have went. All right there. Call him.
No.
What do you mean no?
See, I specifically told you both yesterday and this morning that I'd come to pick you up at 4 p.m. Right? And I got to your place at 4 p.m. You didn't even come downstairs for another hour, and so I was waiting downstairs for an hour. Right?
But I wasn't expecting for work to take me so long. I got home a little late, and like I said, I don't know you well enough to invite you up into my apartment, and that is not possible.
And that's why I'm saying, I'm thinking, okay, if we're not there in the relationship to, you know, meet.
I'm just gonna stop the video right there because she already pissing me the fuck off. But here's what I'll say. Now, there's a few people online saying that this was a skit, and there's a few people saying that this was real. So I have two different opinions based on whether it was a skit or if it was real. If it was real, what I have to say is, girl, you were doing too much. You were doing too much, and now you're making black women look bad. And you're making it harder for black women to date outside of their race because you're giving other races of men this idea that black women behave like this on dates. That's one. Two, I agree with black women having standards. Hands down. I'll be the first person to say that black women need to have standards, for sure. So I'm not mad at black women for having standards at all. And I do think that all black women should have that bare minimum requirement of a man taking them out on a date. Because there are still black women who will run to a man's first call if he sends a come over text. So I do still believe that black women deserve to have standards, and their bare minimum requirement should be a date when a man is trying to pursue them and get to know them. However, putting pockets on what that date is a problem. And I'm sorry, girl, but Cheesecake Factory is not cheap. It's not cheap. It's not cheap. If you go to Cheesecake Factory with two people and y'all are drinking, having cheesecake and food, the bill's going to be at least $100 to $200. That's not cheap. And it's like, girl, you're talking about, oh, I'm used to being courted. I'm used to being taken these places. So what men are you dating exactly? Because a man who makes six figures will drop about $200 on a date. That's normal for a man who makes six figures. So what type of men you been dating? You been dating men who make $1 million a year? You been dating Drake, who dropped $30,000 on a date? who you been dating. And at the end of the day, it does not matter how much the date costs. What matters is the quality of the date. Because at the end of the day, I could go to a super expensive restaurant that costs $3,000 and get the same quality experience at a cheaper restaurant that will cost me $500. So girl, a price tag on what the date should be is already a problem. Now you look entitled. There's ways to do this shit, and that's not the way to do it. And first of all, I already know that this girl's a fake bougie bitch. I already know she's a fake bougie bitch. And you know what? I've met a couple women like this in my life. There's a lot of women out here who are fake bougie. They will sit up here and act like they're the bougiest girl in the world and they can't go to certain places because that's beneath them, or they can't talk to certain people because that's beneath them. Whole time, they've never even experienced the bougie stuff that they demand. I bet you this woman has never been to a nice restaurant that costs about $500 a bill. And she probably has never even been on a date with a man who's richer than him. She's probably dated men in his tax bracket. So I'm confused. You over here trying to act like you're bougie and, oh, I only like going places like this, only going places like this. Like, girl, I'm sorry, but I doubt that you've ever even been on a date that was more expensive than Cheesecake Factory. The problem is these fake bougie women, they develop standards based on what they seen on social media. I promise you, this woman basically went on social media, saw a post of a girl getting treated on a date that was about $1,000, and she was like, oh my gosh, is that what men are doing these days? That girl got treated for a date that was $1,000. That's the standards that I gotta have now. Whole time, it doesn't even fit her life or her experience. Your standards should fit your life and your experience and what makes sense for you as a woman, okay? Because as a woman, yes, you are entitled to a date when a man is pursuing you. That is a given. Like, if a man is interested in you, period, it doesn't matter how much money he makes, he is supposed to give you a date. That is for sure. Yes. But the amount of money that a man spends on you on that date, that is determined by the quality woman that you are and how you carry yourself. And when you carry yourself in a way that you're entitled and like you're a gold digger, girl, you're not going to attract the right type of men. The right type of men are not going to want to take you on dates any further or pay for expensive things for you, because they're going to see you as somebody who's very superficial and only looks at a price tag. And I know that she's never even talked to a rich man before, and she developed these standards based off of seeing a post on social media, because if she really talked to rich men in her life, she would know that a lot of rich men like to do practical, simple stuff. And a lot of the time, they don't like to be in the bougiest places. Okay? Let me tell you something. The richest man in the room is going to be the least flashiest. The richest man in the room is going to be the man with a plain hoodie on with khakis and some clean Air Forces and a hat. That's going to be the richest, most powerful man in the room. And you won't always find the richest man in the room at the most bougiest places. Sometimes the richest men be at places like a local restaurant in Philly or in whatever state you live in. The richest men don't always be in the bougiest places wearing designer all the time. So the fact that she's expecting that this man take her on a date that costs who knows how much, because girl, I don't even know what the fuck she was expecting. Like, girl, what you expecting, like $1,000 on the date or something? Like, the fact that you expecting that and you believe that every rich man lives their life like that 24/7 just proves to me that you've never even dated a rich man before. You just saw some shit on social media and you developed standards based off of that. And now you walking around trying to make everybody fit those standards. Whole time you don't even pull men who could live up to those standards. I promise you, this woman has never even pulled a man who could give her that restaurant that she wants. And a lot of rich men don't be in the most bougiest places all the time. Sometimes they like to go to normal places because rich men don't look at a price tag because they already have a lot of money. So they look at the quality of places and what places give you a quality experience. And there are some places that are cheaper than the bougiest places out here, and they give you a better quality experience. I know a lot of places that cost about $1,000 for a table of two. And when I go to a place that's cheaper, that's about maybe $200 for a table of two, I get better food and a better quality experience. And a lot of rich people, especially rich men, pay attention to those things. So you will see rich men in less bougie places that are not as expensive, but because they love the quality of the experience, they're going to go there. Because at the end of the day, they're not looking at how much this is and how much that is. They already got money. The only people who really pocket watch like that are the people who don't got shit. Like her. She probably don't got no money in her fucking bank account. And that's why she be pocket watching all the motherfucking time. But a lot of rich men, they like to do simple dates at first. They don't like to take a woman on a super expensive date on the first date because they don't want somebody to be looking at them for their pockets. So a lot of rich men will do something simple like a coffee date or something at like a local restaurant or even a restaurant like Cheesecake Factory. But most of them don't go out and take you to a restaurant that costs damn near $4,000 on the first date because they don't even know you yet. They don't even know if they're going to call you next week. So this is coming from a girl who's talked to rich men. A lot of the time, they don't blow a bag on you the first date. They'll still take you to a respectable, clean place that is, giving you a good quality experience with good food. And y'all could still sit there, have a good conversation and get to know each other. But a lot of the time, they'll choose something simple like a coffee date or something, or even Cheesecake Factory or a dessert place or something like that to take you just so they can get to know you. I feel like she wants to pull a man in a certain tax bracket, but she has not been able to pull that type of man yet. So she only goes after the men that she's capable of pulling, which is men like him. And then she gets mad when they don't live up to the standards of the man that she wants them to be, which is a man taking them out on a $3,000 date. And it's like, girl, if you want to go on a $3,000 date, then why don't you just go on a date with a man who's super duper duper rich who will do that for you if you ask. But the thing is, you are not capable of pulling super duper duper rich men who will give you that type of date. I know she's not. But yeah, I feel like in this day and age, social media, they make it seem like women don't have to do shit. We just got to be pretty and have a coochie. And we don't got to do nothing else. I know rich men, they don't look at how much a woman makes. However, they do look at the foundation that a woman has and what she has going for herself. Because he's not going to be dating a bum. If a man makes 6 figures and he's rich and he has a business or he has a lot of assets and all this stuff, he's going to want a partner who can match his level mentally. So he's going to want somebody who's educated, who's smart, and who knows what hustling is like. Because at the end of the day, when you are dating somebody, you guys are exchanging energy. So the same way how we tell women not to date down because if they date a bum, then that bum is going to drag them down with them. It's the same thing with men. Men, they're not going to date a woman who does not have a foundation for herself, meaning she doesn't have any type of goals or ambition in life. She's not educated. She's not emotionally mature, and she doesn't carry herself well or take care of her hygiene and all that stuff. He's not going to date a woman like that when he makes a lot of money because she's just going to drag him down and make him lose more money. A man wants to be able to go home and feel like the woman is adding value to his life. And that doesn't mean financially, but if your man comes home from a long day of work as a 6-figure earner, he's probably going to want to come home and complain to you about his day at work. He's probably going to want to talk to you about some business decisions that he made at work. And if you're a dumb bitch who has nothing going for herself and you have no knowledge or substance at all, girl, how you going to add value to that conversation? He going to come home and tell you all these things that happen at work. You're not going to know what to say. You're not going to have no advice, nothing. It's going to be like he's talking to a dead wall. So it's certain shit that you got to have as a woman to pull certain type of men. It's not just being a woman and being pretty. That can only get you a date and that's it. But the type of men you pull, the type of pockets that he has and the type of money he'll spend on you, that is determined by how you are as a woman. What you represent as a woman. Do you keep up with your feminine hygiene? Do you keep up with yourself? Do you make sure your hair always looks good? Do you make sure that you smell good? Do you make sure that you have a good skincare routine so your skin looks good? Do you make sure you get your nails done? Do you make sure that you're educated and you have substance? Do you have a foundation for yourself? Are you building something for yourself? Because again, you are single until married, love. So as a single woman, you should not be relying on no man until you're married. So as a single woman, you should still be building a foundation for yourself. And then, if I get a boyfriend along the way, then yeah, he can take me on dates and pay for all the bills, and he can even invest his money into my own foundation and my own goals. And that's cool too, but I still got to be building my own foundation, because if we break up, then what? I got nothing. You are single until married. So until you are legally married, you should still be building a foundation for yourself. Whether it's getting a degree, starting your own business, getting a couple assets for yourself, investing in a couple investment accounts, doing things like that. So you have things for yourself that are in your name that are valuable. And not just getting liabilities like purses and clothes. I mean assets. Like, I'm talking getting a property for yourself in your name. Because as a single woman, you only need to put 3% down, girl. So things like that, those are important. And a lot of y'all don't have a foundation and don't have any goals or ambitions. And y'all just want to go out, drink and smoke and do nothing with your lives. And then you think that high quality men who make a lot of money are supposed to take you out on dates and give you about $3,000 a week because you're a woman and you're pretty. No, that's not how it works. Men invest their pockets into women they see value in. And the women they see value in are the women who got shit going for themselves and who have substance. Because if a woman has something going for herself, she has substance and she can contribute a lot to his life and add value to his life. When it comes to giving him advice or, taking care of him at home, all this stuff. That all requires a certain, trust me. I done sat down with a couple dumb bitches in my life, okay? And let me tell you, every time I sat down with these women, it was like I could not have a normal conversation with them. And they added no value to the conversation I was talking about. I would be talking about school. I'd be talking about a job, all that. Even current events. They would have no substance to add to the conversation, and it would be like I was talking to a brick wall. And I was like, damn, y'all must be dating some dumb ass niggas who don't got shit going for themselves and don't got nothing important to talk about, because y'all are just super uneducated. And at this point, y'all done added no substance to the conversation. Y'all added a sprinkle of salt and said, yup, I'm a high quality woman. No, girl, you're not. It doesn't just take being a woman and having a coochie and being pretty to pull certain type of men. Okay? So let's erase that right now. You gotta have certain things. You gotta be a certain quality woman to pull certain pockets. Okay? So I'm holding black women accountable for that. Stop thinking that all you need to do is be a woman and be pretty to pull high quality men who make a bunch of money. That's not what it is. And if it was a skit, like I said, bitch, you are stupid. Because why would you do that? And now you're making black women look bad. Because let me tell you, online, this is all over the internet. And people from all different types of races are talking bad about black women and saying how, you shouldn't date black women anymore. This is why you shouldn't date black women, because this is how they act. This is why nobody likes black women. This is why nobody likes to date black women. Oh, there goes me dating black women now. That's over. Like, a lot of people are saying this stuff, including people outside of our race. And it's like you're ruining it for girls who do want to date outside of their race. And this is the worst time to do it. Like, right now, there are so many black women who are finally opening their options and finally expanding their dating pool to other races. And you want to post a video with a man who is not black, and you're acting totally entitled and intolerable. And you're just going to make all black women look bad. And I know y'all like to say that not all black women are the same and we're not monolithic. And I'm like, listen, it don't matter. I get it. Not all black women are the same. Trust me, I know there are some black women that I'd never want to associate myself with at all. Okay. But at the end of the day, when you post stuff online like this, other communities are going to associate one black woman's behavior with the rest of us. So now, when black women are dating outside of their race, it's going to be a lot harder. Because now other races are going to be looking at us like we're going to be entitled and we're going to be bitter and we're going to be intolerable on dates just because of this woman and her damn video.
Hell no.
Simple as that.
I said what I said, and always. I'm not changing on it, okay? I said what I said.
Okay, so now we're going to get into Jeannie Mai. Now, child, for those who don't know, Jeannie Mai is a host on The Real, and she was married to a black man named Jeezy, and they recently got a divorce. And she's been all over the internet, all over the interviews, just talking about this damn divorce. And child, it's a whole mess. So according to insiders, they say that the divorce came about because both had different views and they both felt like their needs weren't being met. And you know, I could guess why they did not have the same views. Let me show y'all a clip of Jeannie Mai on The Real, okay? And she's over here talking about, you know, her choices of men and what she likes in men. And this was around the time where she was married to a white man, okay? And she was basically talking about how she likes white men, but she likes dark black men on the side. So, yeah. And she referred to black men as meat, as if she doesn't even see black men as human, okay? She referred to them as a piece of food. Like, y'all are not even human. Yeah, that's your preference, y'all. That's your preference that y'all talk so greatly about, black men. That's the preference that y'all talk so greatly about. They call you food. They don't even treat y'all like you're human. They treat y'all like you're a piece of meat. Okay? But let's take a look at this next clip, okay?
I did. But for me, dark meat on the side, white keeps me mean and lean. No, that's why I married white man. That's what I like.
Hold up. What do you mean, dark meat on the side? Because she lightweight offensive. I am
I'm not. I'm saying, like, I really do think black men are attractive. I do. Like, that's my...
Well, what do you mean, dark meat on the side?
That means, honey.
You
know what that means.
Wait, what are you reading it as?
How did you say it?
I'm just saying, like, when I think about men, I like dark men. I do.
You like your main man to be white and your side
piece to be dark. That is not what I mean.
Jeannie, explain what you mean.
Okay,
what
I meant is, like, I used to date black men. Okay, and I think they're attractive. But what I decided to stick to, because it just kept me happiest, was my man Freddie, who happens to be white.
Girl, we don't care what you mean. We know exactly what you meant. And shout out to Tamar Braxton. I always love Tamar, even though recently she pissed me off with the Erica Mena comments. But I always love Tamar because she always kept it real. And the fact that they even fired her off of the show was crazy because she was literally the highlight of the show. Like, I'm sorry. Nobody really cared about the rest of these bitches but her. So anyways, but yeah. So she said white keeps me lean and she like her dark meat on the side. Which means she likes her main man to be white and she likes her side piece to be a black man. Are y'all surprised? Because I'm not. I'm not. This is what a lot of the preferences do. And this is how a lot of the preferences view black men. Let me tell y'all something. A lot of these non-black preferences who date black men, I promise you black men was not their first choice. They dated black men because they realized the men in their own community did not want them. So black men was their second choice because they knew black men would accept them regardless of their flaws, just because they're not a black person. I promise you. The men in their own community see their flaws and they be like, we don't want her. Black men, y'all can have her. We don't want her. And then they pass those non-black women on to black men. And then black men get hype and they're like, oh my gosh, like I got me a non-black woman. They feel like it's a badge of honor. Whole time, baby, you were a second choice. Whole time, they see you as a piece of meat. They don't even see you as a human. They like black dick. They don't like black people. Don't get it twisted. And y'all get embarrassed every single time. So y'all will sit up here and talk bad about black women and talk shit on us. Whole time, that non-black woman that you're dating, at one point, honey, you were being talked about like you weren't even human. You were being talked about like you were a side piece of meat. And y'all think I'm lying? Y'all know who Kim Kardashian is, right? One of the most known preferences in the black community, right? Black men love her, right? But let me tell you something, white men don't. Not too long ago, Tom Brady's friend was advising him not to date the Kardashians. He was literally like, no, bro, we don't do the Kardashians. Like, we could fuck them, but we don't do the Kardashians. We don't do them. And you want to know why? Because the men in their community do not like them. That's why they date black men. That's why all the Kardashians only date black men. Most of the time. 99% of the time, they only date black men because those are the only men that will accept them. The men in their own community see their flaws and will not take it and will not accept that. But they know black men will accept them with their flaws just because they're not a black woman. But if they had a choice, they would choose their own men over black men. But because their own men don't want them, they're going to go where they're fully welcomed. And unfortunately, black men fully welcome non-black women into their dating pool. Because they only care that they're non-black most of the time. They don't care what flaws you come with. They don't care if you're a bum. They don't care if you're a gold digger. As long as you're not a black woman, they'll date you. That's what happens with a lot of these self-hating black men out here. So they go where they're welcomed, but it's not always where they originally wanted to be. Okay? And let me tell you something else. These non-black women who date black men, they don't value y'all all the time. I'm going to play y'all a clip of this white woman who was speaking to a black man. Okay? And she was telling him, listen, I know that when black men date white women, you guys see it as a badge of honor, but it's not the same way for us. And the black man in this video was so shocked because he's so used to living in his black infested atmosphere that he doesn't see how other communities see him and how other communities see certain things. So he's looking at it from a black man's perspective and he's thinking, oh, well, if I see white women as the prize, then white women have to see me as the prize. I completely disagree. And the white woman was literally like, listen, you may see us as the prize, but we don't see y'all as the prize. We see y'all as second place because we weren't good enough for the men in our own community. Most of the time when a white woman dates a black man, it's because she wasn't good enough for the men in her own community. So she just settled for a black man because she knew y'all was going to accept her with open arms anyways because she's not black. And that's all y'all require most of the time.
And
So let me play this clip for y'all. Hold up.
Experience and all the other white girls that I know, we don't think that getting attention from black guys gives you a status of some sort. If you get attention from the white guys, you do have the status more than if you get attention from black guys.
As a man, I'm going to have to respectfully disagree with that.
Well, as a woman who gets attention and who grew up in a white culture more than a black culture, I'm going to tell you that getting attention from black guys is not a badge of honor if you're white.
Okay.
And I'm white.
You are white.
Yes.
All right. No,
if a white girl gets attention from a white guy, that's more valuable in white culture than if she gets attention from a black guy. If she gets attention from a black guy, that doesn't make you a better anything. Like, that doesn't raise you in anybody's eyes. As a matter of fact,
in some people's eyes, it does.
As a matter of fact, it's a little bit of oh, you know, she's basically not good enough for the white, so she's good for the black guys.
Damn.
That's how it's looked at with white people.
I see it the opposite way.
So why am I showing you this, right? Because it has a lot to do with Jeannie Mai and Jeezy's marriage. Because let's keep in mind, Jeezy is the one that filed for divorce. And we almost never see men file for divorce, especially a black man. First of all, it takes black men a lot to just get married in the first place. So them getting divorced is like unheard of. Like, you barely ever see black men even try to get married. So getting divorced is also extra rare. All right. So for a black man to pull out those divorce papers and say we weren't seeing eye to eye and we had completely different views on certain things and he got a divorce, baby, he probably realized that Jeannie Mai likes black dick and not black people. And she didn't value him as a black person. And that's probably why he was like, I gotta dip. They probably had completely different views on how to raise their mixed black child. He probably had completely different ways of how he wanted to raise that child being a black man. And she had completely different ways of how she wanted to raise that child as a non-black woman. And he probably realized, like, damn, like, this was a girl who just fetishized me. she don't really fuck with black people like that. And then he dipped. So those are a lot of issues that a lot of couples run into when it's too late. Because they were so infatuated with each other and they were fetishizing each other to the point where they forgot that it was a fetish and not real love. And you know what? I'm proud of him because a lot of black men don't come to that realization. A lot of black men stay in Delulu land. They just like to stay delusional and live in that lie. So I pray for Jeezy. I pray for that child. And I hope Jeannie Mai heals and she learns something from this and learns that, girl, you can't be talking about black men like that, like they're a piece of meat or they're not human. Okay? Period. That's fucked up. Okay? All right. So now we're going to get into Jada. Child. So Jada Pinkett Smith.
I'm just not ready for all of this. It's just...
I'm not really going to give y'all a rundown on what happened in that relationship because I can't even keep up. All I know is they got into an open marriage. She started dating August. Will started dating this other woman. Then August and her blew up. She did Red Table Talk. All this hot mess. Then Will Smith slapped Chris Rock. Then, you know, whole time they wasn't even together in the first place, but he was defending her because he felt like he needed to. And now we're here. Jada. Listen, Jada, like, I don't even want to, like, all I'm going to say about this is Jada. You know, we love you, okay? We really do, okay? I love you, Jada. I think that you're a beautiful woman. I love the movies that you were in. So as a big fan of you, I'm going to say this one thing, okay? I feel like you are ruining your legacy by making this your storyline. You're making your toxic relationship with Will Smith your storyline instead of you building your own legacy. You are a good actress and you actually could build a whole legacy for yourself. You could be doing so much, girl. You could be doing so much. But you built your legacy based off of relationship drama. Okay? You've been in so many movies and we all can't even remember what you were in. Besides Set It Off. Because you are making your whole career be highlighted by your marriage with Will Smith. And for Will Smith, it's not going to be the same outcome because Will Smith has a good foundation for himself to the point where, yes, people will remember that he was in a toxic relationship with you, but he has so many box office movies. He's won an Oscar already. He has so many memorable moments and so many high accolades to the point where we are not going to look at Will Smith and be like, oh, yeah, that's Will Smith, the guy who was married to toxic Jada. We're going to be like, oh, that's Will Smith, the actor who happened to be married to Jada Smith. But Jada, when we look at you, we be like, oh, that's Will Smith's wife. And she happens to be an actress. I don't want that for you, Jada. I do not want that for you. I want you to build a huge legacy for yourself that doesn't involve Will Smith and your toxic relationship. Okay? And when it comes to their relationship and all that stuff, I'm going to need all y'all to stop saying Jada cheated. Okay? It's been obvious that they were broken up for a long time. Will Smith had his own side piece going on while Jada was dating August Alsina. So they were both dating out. They both had an open marriage. Like, they both agreed to an open marriage. So that is what they did. Will Smith had his own thing going on and Jada had her own thing going on. I think the problem with Jada is she was way too damn messy. Because why would you get with August Alsina? That's your son's friend. First of all, this man is half your age and that's your son's friend. And he's famous. So that's a high profile relationship already. So I don't really agree with her embarrassing Will like this so much. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, she is speaking her truth. But at the same time, girl, we're tired. And we want to see more from you than your toxic relationship. We want to see more from you. Because we know you can do more. We know. I know. Okay? And I'm a big fan of Jada. So I'm really disappointed that every single year, she makes Will Smith her storyline. And I'm like, girl, can we get a movie? Can we get something else? I don't want to see this. This is not classy Krishan and Blueface 2.0. Okay? No. We're not doing that. Jada, you are above that. That is beneath you. That should not be your legacy in your storyline at all, Jada. Simple as that. So we're tired. And it's like every single second, it's a new bomb that's being dropped. Like, you've been talking about Tupac for like 10,000 years. Every single minute is, oh, you know, Tupac proposed to me. And then Will Smith, you know, and then Chris Rock was in my DMs. And
I'm just not ready for all of this. It's just...
We're tired. And we don't want to hear it. And it's not that we don't like you, Jada. We love you, and that's why we're mad. We want more from you. As a black woman, I want to see more from you than your toxic relationship. That should not be your legacy. And I don't want you to die, and that's all people remember you for. But yeah, that's the end of this video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, if you're new here, welcome. This is the Barbie Life 2.0 podcast, and I'm your host, Barbie 2.0. And I talk about colorism, texturism, and featureism on my page. And I also include some issues in the black community and trending topics as well. So if you guys like my opinion and you love me and you love my look today, you might as well like, comment, and subscribe. Like, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's all I have for you guys. I love you guys so much, and thank you so much for just tuning into me and, you know, believing in me and subscribing. I really appreciate it, especially during this time while I'm in school and I'm grinding out right now. So it's not going unseen. Like, trust me, I see the love, I see the support, and I love you guys just as much, if not more. So thank you so much. And yeah, I'll see you guys next week. Bye.